It's Sunday night. You're lying in bed scrolling through your phone, trying to distract yourself from that sick feeling creeping into your stomach. The Sunday scaries are in full effect because tomorrow is Monday. Your alarm will go off at 6 a.m. and you'll drag yourself through the same routine you've done hundreds of times before. That feeling in your gut? That's not you being dramatic. That's your soul screaming that something is terribly wrong. Comment "felt" if you know exactly what I'm talking about. Millions of people feel this exact same dread every single week. But we've been told it's just part of being a responsible adult. We've been lied to. I'm going to show you the 5 ways the entire system was designed to scam you. And number 5 will make you sick when you realize how long you've been falling for it. But more importantly, I'll show you exactly how people are breaking free while their coworkers stay stuck. Let's get into it. Way number 1, they stole your time using 100-year-old factory logic. Your great-grandfather probably worked with his hands, built things, and saw the results of his labor at the end of each day. But you're trapped in a cubicle, moving numbers around on spreadsheets that don't matter, in meetings about meetings, doing work that disappears the moment you leave. Here's what nobody tells you about the 8-hour workday. Henry Ford didn't create it because he cared about workers. He did the math and realized that exhausted employees broke more machines and made more mistakes. So he cut their hours to protect his equipment and boost his profits. The foundation of your entire working life is based on what was best for factory machines over a century ago, not people. Machines. But here's what they don't want you to know. Smart people figured out that time is the only asset you can never get back. While everyone else sells their hours, successful people learned to sell results. They work when they want, where they want, and make more money doing it. Way number 2, the real math will make you sick. You think you work 40 hours a week? That's just a fraction of the time you're giving them. Add up the time you spend getting ready, commuting, taking lunch breaks where you can't actually relax because you're thinking about work, and the decompression time you need when you get home. You're giving them at least 60 hours of your life every single week. And the money? Subtract what you spend on gas, car payments, work clothes, and that coffee addiction you developed just to function. When you do the real math, your take-home pay is a fraction of your real earnings. Meanwhile, your boss knows your value. You make $50,000 a year but probably generate $150,000 in value. They pocket the difference. Crumbs for you, mansions for them. Type robbery if you've ever felt like this. But smart people flip the script. Instead of making someone else rich, they started making themselves rich. They realized that if you can generate $150,000 in value for someone else, you can generate it for yourself. Way number 3, they turned loyalty into a one-way street. Remember when your parents told you to find a good company and stay loyal to it? They grew up in a different world. Back then, companies actually cared about their workers. Now, all that loyalty you gave them is worth less than a line on a spreadsheet. They'll fire you in an email to save a few dollars on their quarterly report. It doesn't matter if you've been there 20 years. It doesn't matter if you're the hardest worker they have. And yet, they still expect complete loyalty from you. You can't have side businesses. You can't explore other opportunities. You have to pretend this job is your whole life, knowing you're completely at their mercy. Here's the truth successful people discovered. The only person you can truly count on is yourself. While everyone else puts their faith in companies, entrepreneurs and investors put their faith in their own skills and assets that they control. Way number 4, benefits are chains disguised as gifts. Those benefits they dangle in front of you, they're chains disguised as gifts. You stay in jobs that are sapping your energy and spirit because you can't risk losing health insurance. You watch your kids grow up through photos on your phone because you can't afford to take unpaid time off. You miss family dinners, school plays, little league games because someone else owns your time. That's not employment. That's voluntary slavery with dental coverage. Hit pause for a second and think about this. When was the last time you felt excited about Monday morning? If you can't remember, that's not normal. That's what defeat looks like. But people are escaping every day. They're building businesses that give them both freedom and security. Real security that doesn't depend on some HR department's mood. And here's what really gets me. They've convinced you that wanting more is greedy, that dreaming of financial freedom makes you selfish. They've weaponized your own guilt against you. You feel bad for wanting to escape, like you're abandoning your responsibilities. But ask yourself this, who benefits when you feel guilty about wanting a better life? It's not you, it's not your family. It's the system that needs you to stay exactly where you are, making them rich while you struggle. Your desire for freedom isn't selfish, it's human. And suppressing it is what's actually killing your spirit. Way number 5, the retirement lie is the cruelest scam of all. The retirement promise might be the cruelest lie of all. They want you to sacrifice 40 years of your life, put money into accounts you can't touch, and hope there's something left when you're 65. Think about that for a second. They're asking you to give up your strongest, healthiest, most energetic years for the possibility of maybe having money when you're old and tired. You'll trade the decades when you could climb mountains for a few years when you'll struggle to climb stairs. Your kids will be adults with their own problems. Your dreams will be faded memories. While everyone else waits 40 years, there's a group of people retiring in their 30s. They crack the code. They realize that if technology can make one person do the work of 10, why not capture that value instead of giving it away? Here's the shocking truth most people never hear. Productivity today is off the charts compared to a century ago. One person can do what used to take 10. We should be working 20-hour weeks, living like kings, and still creating value. Instead, we're working longer hours than our grandparents, stressed and barely scraping by. That extra productivity, it didn't make life easier for you. It went straight into the pockets of people who already have more money than they could ever spend. They turned work into a religion. Your job title became your identity. Your freedom, creativity, and time, they made it feel selfish to care about it. The people breaking free aren't geniuses. They're just smart about one thing. They stopped selling their time. Here's the blueprint they follow. 1. Multiple income streams. Instead of relying on one boss, they have 3 or 4 income sources. Freelance work, a side business, dividends from investments, all flowing simultaneously. The goal isn't a windfall, it's freedom from dependency. 2. Buy assets, not liabilities. Forget cars that lose value the second you drive them home. They buy things that generate money every month. Real estate, dividend stocks, or small businesses. These assets put cash in their pockets while they sleep. 3. Calculate your freedom number. Know exactly how much money you need to cover your life without a 9-to-5. Build your income streams until that number is met. Simple, but most people never even try. 4. Treat skills like products. Instead of trading hours for dollars, they package knowledge into courses, templates, consulting services, things that keep paying them even when they're not working. Every day you see people your age making millions online, traveling and working just a few hours a day. They aren't luckier or smarter, they just refuse to accept the lie that you need someone else's permission to live a good life. The truly wealthy and free don't trade their lives for paychecks. They don't worry about vacation days or layoffs. They get paid for results, not time, and they control their own lives. Every day your kids see you drag yourself to work, exhausted and stressed. Is that the lesson you want them to internalize? That life is about enduring misery for decades in exchange for a few years at the end? You don't have to live like this. That Sunday night dread, that's your gut telling you there's a better way. 9-to-5 jobs steal your time, dreams, and sense of possibility. They train you to think small, wait for permission, and value security over freedom. But real security comes from skills, assets, and options. From betting on yourself instead of a company that sees you as disposable. Every successful person you admire started by rejecting this system. They chose freedom over false security. They valued their time over comfort, and they bet on themselves. The only question is how long you're going to ignore what your gut already knows. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more truth about building real wealth and freedom.